Uh, I'll just try again. I've just tried to record a video and I forgot to slide the slider. And it was black. Oops. Right, I'm going to have to do this again. Right, so I've been doing some analysis on what happened um, with my flight. Right, so basically, the when I got to the glide slope area, right, I enabled glide slope. Now, I'll slow this down. I'll just turn the sound off actually, because so I'm coming into land at KJFK, and let me just skip forward a bit. Right. Right, when I get to the glide slope, now my altitude was locked on to 4,000 feet, right? So if I zoom in, you can clearly see that I am locked on to 4,000. It's just behind the needle. You can hardly see it, but it's 4,000. 4,000.013.
Oh, I need to check
right?
that to,
So I'm coming in. I've got my altitude hold set
Not.
at the top, which is slightly yellow. You can just make it out.
Held at
So altitude hold is on,
4,000 right now.
right? So I should have stayed at that 4,000 feet, right? But
Locked onto 4,000.
I thought I'd turn the sound down. So as I'm coming in, let's skip forward a bit.
Right, 3.
Oh, I keep moving the damn volume. Right. As I'm coming in, right, there's my 4,000 feet, right? Ignore my other mouse because that's me earlier. Right. Now, when I get to the glide slope setting, that's when I need to be switching over to glide slope. Now, if you look, it was going to move me down to 2,000 feet. But I didn't want to move to 2,000 feet because it stalls me when I get to that location for the glide slope. There we go. It's going up to the, it's trying to move me down to 2,000 feet, right? Well, I set altitude hold so it wouldn't come down to 2,000 feet. So it was actually doing the controlling. I had 4 nautical miles to go before it would switch over to glide slope, right? If you can see it just there. So look at the top. 4 nautical miles, well, 3 point, so there we go. Right, now we're on the glide slope. So at this point, it needs to be at least 4,000 feet or higher, 5,000, to actually descend into the glide slope, right? So this is where GS comes in, glide slope, right? Now, according to the flight director, the route manager, I should have been okay because I'd locked it to 4,000 feet. But what was it actually set to? Well, remember I had altitude hold set. Well, if you look at my actual altitude, you'll see I'm actually at 3,575 feet. So I'd actually lost 500 feet. And I was running at the right speed, which was 190 knots. Where is it? I'm zoomed in, it's hard to see stuff. I was at 190 knots. I had indicated hold. Right, my actual speed was 199, which is basically 190. You can see it on the scale here with the needle. So I was coming in at 190. I was at the right I was at the right speed. But because I was only at 190 knots, which is the proper approach speed for Concorde, and because this thing decided click on glide slope there. Now look at the horizon. I'm stalling out. Look at my speed. My speed is dying. I'm stalling. Can you see? So it stalled me out. My speed drops right down. I drop right down to 10 nautical miles. 10 knots, I mean. So I've dropped right down. I'm stalled. So if that's 10 there, look. Right. So it's actually says 92. That's weird. Earlier it says I was at 10. Where was it? There. It says I'm at 10. KTAS 10. So I'm stalled. Right. This is where I start to go up in speed because I'm actually nosediving right now. I'm actually crashing right now. Now look at altitude, I'm diving. So there's no way to get out of that once you start to fall out of the sky because you've got no forward momentum. Bam. Yeah. So there was no longer any forward momentum because I was being stalled out because it tried to climb to a ridiculously steep angle when I was trying to hold my altitude at 4,000 feet, but I couldn't. So it seems like the actual route manager has got a problem. Has got a defect somewhere because it was trying to climb when I was already at the right altitude to begin with. So yeah, I don't know. This seems to be a problem that was there 15 years ago. 15 years ago, I had this problem, and I was hoping it had been fixed by now, and apparently not. Before you say I was on the wrong frequency, what do you think that is? I.L.S is the frequency to be on. I was on the right frequency. That's what the I.L.S stands for, Instrument Landing System. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, I just don't get it. Anyway, so that's a review of my crash, and I'm not saying that it's because it's not my fault. Maybe I should have known it was buggy and not used it, but I just wanted to find out anyway. But it works for KJAX, Jackson Airport. It works fine for that. KJAX works, but KJFK, why doesn't that work? I don't know. But anyway, that's the little summary of what happens, why it crashed. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.